Hi everyone, it's Karen Whooley and welcome to today's version of Team Whooleygan's live chat. It's Wednesday, April 28th. We're at the end of April. Can you believe it? Anyway, before I get started, I just wanted to send out a couple reminders. If you're watching live right now and haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel or to my Facebook page. I'm simultaneously streaming both places. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button. And then also on Facebook, make sure you click the thumbs up as well to let people know about this. Help me let people know about these videos. Also, if you are on Facebook, make sure that you keep watching for every week's live. I will put it up and pin it to the top. And you'll be able to hit a reminder button so that it'll remind you when I go live. So I hope that you guys are doing that. If you want to learn more about me, make sure you visit my website at KarenWhooley.com. That's right here at the bottom of the screen. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. Newsletter subscribers always get the news first. They get the biggest discounts on any new releases. And you always get a free pattern every single year. When you first subscribe, you'll get a free pattern right off the bat. And then every year on January 1st, I send out a brand new pattern. It's not something I recycle from my catalog. It's a brand new pattern that is free for that year. So make sure you hit the subscribe button while you're there. And then also, if you are not watching on YouTube, this is my YouTube channel. Go ahead and make sure that you, again, subscribe or click the thumbs up so people know about my videos. If you're on Facebook, if you're not watching this on Facebook, I should say, this is my Facebook link. Go ahead and, like my page. And also, you guys, if you are willing to share these links with people that may not be watching, that may not know about me. I mean, I've been around for a long time. I'm in my 23rd year of being a designer and an author and an instructor. So, but there's still people out there who may have never heard of me and you might want to recommend. I'd love it if you guys would do that. Also, if you're on Instagram, this is my Instagram handle, Karen Whooley. Make sure there's no space between my name. I hope you'll follow me there. That's where I am usually most active. And also, after I do these lives, I also upload them to Rumble. Rumble is another video platform that a lot of people are starting to use. In fact, last time I checked my followers, I have within 5 people following me on Rumble and following me on YouTube. So check out Rumble. And then also, if you have never joined Rumble or don't know anything about it, would like to join, it's free. But you can use my affiliate link and they will give me a little kickback, which helps me support these videos and my business in general. So if you're interested in that, make sure you use that link down there below. So I'm going to go and head over to the chat room and see how you guys are. Let's see. Laura's here. Hi, Laura. It's been a trying 10 days. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're feeling better though now. I'm feeling good, Laura. I'll talk about that after I say hello to everyone. But yeah, I feel pretty good these days. Linda and Brad are here. Yay. YouTube didn't send my notification. That's really weird. Because I have been connected to YouTube since about 8 a.m. this morning. So that was a little over an hour ago. So that's really interesting that they didn't. Good morning, the busy hooker. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Good morning. It's so nice to see all of you guys here and how you guys are getting to know each other. Hello, Aunt Ida. Good to have you here. And Pat, good morning. I hope you're feeling better too. And Mary Ann as well. It seems like everybody who's here is on YouTube. I haven't had anybody watching live from Facebook yet, but I have been getting a lot of people watching after the fact, it's kind of interesting. People seem to watch YouTube more during the day and the mornings than they do on Facebook. So I just find that very interesting. Let's see. Oh, good. Pat, you got a notification from YouTube. That's awesome. That is really awesome. And yes, right in Ida, it is really good to see familiar names. So I was asked how I'm feeling. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks since my last treatment. I've got another 3 weeks, and then I'll have my scope to see if the cancer's completely gone still, or if I need to do more treatments. That's May 26th. So I'll be doing a YouTube live that morning. So you guys all probably be a little nervous that day, but I feel good. My brain fog is starting to lift, and I'm doing, I told my daughter last week that I feel like my math brain is back. I can do math again. I'm working on a sweater right now. I'll show you that in a minute. And I could actually do the calculations for 9 sizes last week. So I was like, yes, my brain is finally starting to kick in. I am still getting really, really tired though. So this past weekend, we did a whole bunch of yard work, and I mean, Sunday night, I just fell asleep and woke up late. So I'm still kind of, feeling the effects of that part, but I'm starting to feel normal again. So that's good. So I wanted to talk about a couple things first. I always tell you about what's new or what I finished this week. But before we get started, I wanted to show you this. This is now live as of yesterday, Simply Blankets. And I do have a little special treat for those of you who might not be on my newsletters. If you are on my newsletter, you got a special code for to get the other book, which is Simply Baby Blankets, which I don't have printed out. I need to find where I put it. I have it printed out, but I don't have it with me right now. But if you put both of these, Simply Blankets and Simply Baby Blankets, in your cart, and I'm going to give you links here really quick. So here's how to get Simply Blankets. So that's this book, and it's $4.99. It's digital only. You can get it if you buy it directly from me. You get the option of either getting just a straight PDF, or if you use an e-reader, I have it available for like Kindle and the iBooks, or not iBooks, Apple Books app, the Kobo app. So if you use any of those e-readers, those options are available for you. Or if you use any other e-readers, that you can get the EPUB version. But that's the link there, right there, for Simply Blankets, which is this one. But if you also put this one in your cart, which is Simply Baby Blankets, I have, for all of you on YouTube, I have a special code for you because you guys are watching me here on YouTube. And it's different than my newsletter. My newsletter gets a better discount. So I'm not going to mention, so if you are a newsletter subscriber and want to do this, make sure you go check my newsletter if you haven't already. But if you are here on YouTube, I'm putting this at the bottom of the screen, and you put both this book and Simply Baby Blankets, you'll get Simply Baby Blankets for $2 instead of $4.99. So, and the code is Team Whooleygan 28, and that will give you $2.99 off of Simply Baby Blankets. So if you're interested in getting both of those books, this is a really good deal. These are regularly $4.99 each. So I just wanted to let you guys know that those are there. So I'm going to leave that code at the bottom. Just for a minute here, I've got a comment that I want to check on. Oh, Brad's mom, you just said I. I have no idea what that means, but that's okay. So I wanted to let you guys know that that's out there. And if you're not wanting to buy it on my website, you can always buy it on Amazon or through Apple Books or through Kobo. There's also a page. If you go to my website and you go to the news tab, the very first one talks about this book, and there's a link in there to all the other online retailers that have the book available to you. You won't get the coupons like that work like you do if you buy from my website, but I want to let you know that, because I do know some people would rather do it through whatever e-reader they use. So those are your options. So, but I'm very excited. I'm getting really good feedback. And honestly, if you have already purchased the book, either one of these books, in fact, if you wouldn't mind going to my website and or going to Amazon and posting a review on them, that would be terrific. It's kind of important, and I want them to be honest. It does not have to be a 5-star review. I mean, if you feel like it deserves only 3 stars, you tell us why, and you tell me why, because then I will work on making the books better for everyone. So, but it wouldn't mind if I would really appreciate it, I should say, if you would go to my website or to Amazon, and that's true with any of my books and patterns. If you have some comments and you would like to review them, go ahead and do that. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you're a BookBub user, I don't know how many of you use BookBub, but if you follow me on BookBub, you could leave reviews there as well too. So just, and I'll put that in the comments here with BookBub. Oops. That would be awesome if you would just leave me some reviews. I always forget to ask for reviews because I don't know why. It's just one of those things I never think about doing. And then I realized later on that, man, I wish people would review these so that, because the thing about Amazon, and it's not so much with my website, but with like Amazon and Apple Books and all those places, the more reviews there are and the better the reviews are. And again, I'm saying I want you to do honest reviews, but the reviews are what kicks Amazon especially into promoting my book for me. So, I need some reviews out there, guys. So if you have any of my books, I would love it if you would review them anywhere on my website, on Amazon, on BookBub, Apple Books, wherever you buy your books. So, so there's that. Then I want to show you, I finished the second baby hat. This is that blue. It's kind of got blue and, it's kind of a lilac-y lavender in there. I don't know if you can see it. This one I did as a rolled brim on it for a newborn. And I'm going to put this up here again because I very rarely do I put this up there, but this is Cascade Fixation. I'm going to hide the ticker now. This is Cascade Fixation yarn. It's got the elastic in it, and I put the link here to their main yarn menu because there's actually 3 different entries for their fixation yarn. One is just their standard solid colors. One is what they call spray dyed, which I think is what this is. I can't remember because I can't find the label. Spray dyed is the way they spray it. And then there's another one that is like not really hand painted, but they're kind of striped. The Seahawks one that I showed you the last time I finished a hat is that particular one. So they've got like the solids and the tonals, they've got the striping, and then they've got the spray dyed. So I just put the menu there, and then you just look for fixation and you can find all the different colors there that they have. So I want to show you that. And then you guys got to see my spinning wheel. I finally finished my yarn that I was working on the spinning wheel. I just plied it the day before yesterday. I haven't started a new spin yet, but this is, it's from Elemental Fiber Works. It's a Polwarth silk yarn, and it's her dark spectrum. So it's really, if you put light through a piece of glass, you know how you get the rainbows. It's based off of that, but it's got the dark tones in it, because depending on the light and how the spectrum hits, you can either get dark rainbows or light rainbows, and that's where all that gray comes from in there. But this is, it ended up being a little over 3 ounces, and it's almost not quite 350 yards of fingering weight. So I'm really excited about how that turned out. So I don't know. There's uneven spots. There's a spot right here. Let me see if I can point it out. See where this, oops, I'm up too far. See this orange? It's a little thicker than the rest. So there's some thick and thins in there, but I'm getting to know my wheel. So it was a lot of fun to work on. And I see I've got a couple comments out there. Let's see. Oh, Mary Ann says baby hats and headbands. Yes, fixation is my favorite. So, for any of the baby hats or any of the headband kind of things too. And it is pretty evenly spun, Mary Ann. It's even balanced. I don't know how many of you spin, but when I haven't set the twist on this, and setting the twist means you soak it in water and let it hang to dry. But usually before you set the twist, you want to, when you skein it up, you want to, just hang it, and you'll notice it doesn't twist. And that means that I didn't overspin it when I applied it, and I probably didn't overspin it. And there were a couple spots, I will say, that were a little overspun when I did the singles. But that was me learning the wheel. There's a couple places. I did a chain ply, which is like a 3-ply yarn. You use almost what they call it a chain ply because it's the same idea as a chain with crochet. But when you chain ply, sometimes it'll snap on you if you're too thin and you're rubbing too hard. And there's a few spots there where my ply was way too thin and it just snapped because the rubbing and the friction. But it turned out pretty good. So I'm really excited. Thank you, Linda. I thought it would turn out pretty good too. So I wanted to show you guys that. And then also, I wanted to tell you, I am finally done with all the pieces of my sweater. So I'm going to start blocking it this afternoon. This is my sweater that I'm doing with, I'm going to put it up here. Hang on a second. What did I do with it? The fiber seed. This is her succulent colorway on Sprout Sock. This is the back of the sweater. And I have the two fronts. It's a cropped sweater. And the size I'm making is the finished size is a 40-inch bust, but a 36, 38, 40, depending on how tight you want the sweater to be, could be enough. So they've got the two fronts, and I've just finished the sleeves yesterday. So, with my crochet hook hanging from it. My sleeves. I decided not to do of the lace sleeves because the math for it and just the stitch pattern itself, even though it's going to be seamed under the arm, it just didn't look right. And I even did a little practice swatch and seamed it. And the way the seam looks, it looks terrible. So I decided to do just straight double crochet sleeves. So the front and the back will be lacy, and then the sleeves will be solid. I'm going to be, sometime this week, I'm going to go look for the buttons because it is a cardigan. I'm going to be blocking it, and hopefully by Monday or so, I will be able to start seaming it so you guys can see it actually put together maybe next week. So there you go. It's actually, I'm really excited that it's done. That main part of it's done because I have another project that's a super secret project I can't show you yet that I need to start on, and I need to get it done soon because the final pattern is due at the end of August, and I have a lot to do to get that done. So and that needs to be completely crocheted by the middle of May in order for me to get it to her on time. So you won't be seeing that project, but I have a couple others that I'll be working on at the same time. So you'll see some more stuff from me in the weeks to come. And Ida said, that's so pretty. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, if it's the yarn or if it's the sweater. I've been going back and forth between things. So I didn't see when you popped that in, but I think that is it for projects. I'm going to be starting a new baby hat. That's kind of, baby hats are kind of my mindless projects, on like nights that I'm tired, like Sunday night before I went to bed. I could not even think about doing the crochet on this sweater. So baby hats are what I do. So I'll probably start another one sometime today so that it's just started. I always cast on, like in the middle of the day or something so that all the stitches are there. And I usually knit them in the fixation. I love doing it in crochet too. But these just, because it's a mindless project, I want something that lasts a little longer. And it takes me a little longer to knit them than it does to crochet them. So That's why I do that. Oh, the sweater. Thank you. Thank you, Aunt Ida. Oh, my phone is ringing. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to turn that off here for a sec. Anyway, I forgot to turn the sound off my phone. Hang on. It's our vet. Next week, I don't know if I mentioned this at all, but next week we are bringing our cat, one of our cats, up to the university, which is 2 hours away at Washington State University, which is where my daughter went to school. Our older cat, they're both 14, but Callie just turned 14 and Amber will be 14 in September. But Callie is, she's lost a ton of weight. She's been pulling out her fur. And then when we had her teeth cleaned in February, they found a heart murmur on her. So next Friday, a week from this coming Friday, we're driving her up to Pullman to have an echocardiogram done on her. And find out, what's going on with all the hair pulling out and all that. So the vet's just calling probably to tell me that the medication that we have to give her before we put her in the car so she doesn't meow for 2.5 hours all the way to Pullman is ready for us. So my poor little kitty cat is going. But anyway, so that is all I had for you guys today on projects. I'm trying to think before I launch into anything else. Does anybody have any questions for me? You guys haven't asked a lot of questions lately. Last week I did the gauge. Was it last week I did the gauge? I can't remember when I did the gauge. It was last week. Not gauge, seaming. So did anybody try any of the seaming that I did last week? I still have the swatches over there that I used. Any questions for me on that at all? That kind of thing? Nothing yet. Okay. Because I was going to talk a little bit about, let me get some coffee here really fast. I'm just going to talk a little bit about a new thing happening on my website starting in May. It probably won't start till around the 15th of May, if that early. It might not be till the 22nd, but because I'm still writing a lot. But if you have been following me on Instagram or Facebook, you know that I posted something last week about a new section on my blog called The Business of Crochet. And let's see, The Business of Crochet, I decided, well, I've been asked for a very long time to possibly do books on how to be a designer, how to be, how to run your business, what it takes to be a designer, what it takes to be a teacher, the accounting part of it all, what I do behind the scenes when I'm planning a project or planning a book or planning a class, talk about what it is to be pattern testers, what you look for when you're looking for a tech editor, that kind of thing. And I haven't, the book idea is still there, and that may happen, but I thought it might be easier for me to plan a book if I start writing blog posts about what it is that I do and what I expect from my testers and my tech editors and that kind of thing, and what they all are. Because there's a lot of you out there that you might be you might be thinking, hey, I'd like to test patterns, or hey, I'd like to be a tech editor, find the errors in somebody else's pattern. So, I think I can make some money doing that. Or I've always wanted to be a designer. I don't know where to start, that kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing at least once a month. In May, it'll only be one. I'd like to do twice a month on Saturday mornings, have a blog post that's on my little section that's called The Business of Crochet. And the first thing I'm going to start with is the cost of, like, when I produce a pattern, like a single pattern. Like, I saw Marianne, I see your little message there about my hat pattern. How much from start to finish what that costs for me to produce that pattern. Because a lot of people think, oh, it's just like a recipe, I can just share it. And I know you guys, I know I'm preaching to the choir here who are watching me, but a lot of people, you know, will just copy patterns and give them to people and don't realize how much it costs me to produce that pattern. I mean, this is my career. This is what I do for a living. I have for the last 23 years. I've been a designer and a teacher and an author. So by sharing, you know, making copies of patterns, you're actually hurting those of us who are designing these patterns. And if you really like these patterns and you want to see them coming from this particular designer, not necessarily me, it could be anybody out there who's a designer, by sharing it. I mean, my patterns are probably on the higher end of most people's pay, you know, what they pay for patterns. I know there's a lot of $2 and $3 patterns. These ebooks that I'm doing, because they are older patterns, I've discounted them because the costs have been paid for the most part. All you know, in the past, even though there's been like $400, $500, $600 for these new ebooks to be re-released, because I've had to pay for all the charts and I've had to pay for them to be relaid out and that kind of thing. So it's just, that's where I'm going to start, is just the general, this is what it costs to produce a single pattern. It's not even going to be the books part of it. It's just, this is what it costs me normally for a single pattern. And then I'm going to break it out into different things. And if you have things you want to know about, like I am going to talk about what a pattern tester is. I'm going to talk about what a tech editor is. I'm going to talk about what a layout person is. I'm going to talk about how to get started being a designer, how to contact magazines, how to, you know, if you have a book idea, what to do. And then I'm going to talk about the financial parts of it, you know, software that you want to use, whether it's spreadsheets or anything like QuickBooks. So I'm going to be doing all that. I'm going to be talking about copyrights. I saw that too come up. So I just want to let you guys know that's happening. And if you haven't already seen it and want to subscribe so that you can get those blog posts, like I said, it'll probably be once in May, and then starting in June. I'd like to do it twice a month. I can't guarantee it's going to be twice a month, but there'll be at least once a month a post on the business, because those take a lot more brain power to write it out correctly than you know, like a how-to. I mean, how-to is so natural to me that I can just do, you know, I can pump out a how-to blog post in probably 3 hours, whereas a business post will probably take me like a good half day, if not longer. So, but this is the link to the actual Business of Crochet blog. And when you go there to that link, you'll see that there is a post that says subscribe at the top. It's the only one there right now. Click on the title of that, and then that will bring you to the subscribe screen. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe. I thought I'd show you a little sneak peek. I saw there's some comments here first, so let me just see. Linda says she hasn't done much. Oh no, I hope Brat's okay. You haven't done too much, because this is where I was talking about the seams. I'm so sorry, Brat. I hope she's okay. Let me know what's going on with Brat. Aunt Ida says, I haven't had any projects that needed seaming, but I will be referencing that video when I do. Good. Definitely, if you guys use what I'm teaching on these videos, let me know and how it goes. I'd love to see it. Mary Ann said she had to do the chain in a larger hook to try the special stitch. Good. Good. And I'm going to be doing that more often too for you guys. So just so you know, hang on here a second. I am blocking a user who, yeah, hang on guys, sorry. When these people do, you know, come on and do weird stuff, I just need to, eventually I'm going to hire a virtual assistant who will come on with me and deal with all of the weird comments that come on. And I haven't had that. I've been, knock on wood, I haven't had those in a while, but Every once in a while, I get these weird people that come on. Anyway, so on my hat doing tutorials, most of my patterns these days are going to start having tutorials, hopefully. I mean, if they need it. If they're really super simple patterns, I won't be doing a visual video tutorial. But when, like with my favorite hat, I have special stitch in there. Having a tutorial is really nice. One of the things I'm going to be doing too is I've already started tutorials for the Queen of Hearts shawl. I showed how I wind those big old fat. In fact, I think I showed it to you guys last week. How I take single skeins and wind them all together so that I have a gradient skein. So that video is already on YouTube. It's already on my website at the link that if you have that pattern, if you click on the link or you click on the link or type in that link into the URL bar, you'll get to this video as well. Later this week, I'm going to be doing the second one in there. This is going to be a new Queen of Hearts using Madeline Tosh. So you'll be seeing those videos going up too. Also, I have a new pattern that'll be, you guys won't be able to get it until I'm going to say probably September. I did for one of my shops for the local yarn tour on the west side of the state. And that's going to have a tutorial in it. So there's little things like that you'll be seeing. So, okay. So Deborah says fixation for a crochet baby hat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this one's knitted, but because you want some stretch. So if you have babies tend to want to pull things off their heads anyway. So by having something that's a little tiny bit snug, but has stretch in it, it'll keep it on their heads, first of all. And then it's cotton, so it's easy to wash. Even though it's got the elastic in it, it's mostly cotton. And fixation's amazing for baby hats. I mean, it's crocheted or knit. Awesome for baby hats. Marianne says, your time and knowledge is worth money also. Yeah, well, there's that too. And that's part of one of the things about the pricing of patterns is, talking about what I would normally charge per hour if I was out for hire, so if someone says, I want you to design, I don't know, baby blanket. I'm just going to throw something out there, a baby blanket, and I'll pay you, $15 an hour or $25 an hour to crochet it and design it. That's part of doing a pattern too. So there's that. And copyright is a huge deal too. Copyright's very hard to talk about unless you're an attorney. I can give you the basics, and I will give the basics of that when I talk about the business of crochet. But I will always, every time I talk about copyright, and I have dealt with the Copyright Office, trust me, over 23 years, I'm on the phone with the Copyright Office, the U.S. Copyright Office, several times. And I do have, my best friend is an attorney, and she has helped me with certain things with copyrights too. It's a huge deal. It is a huge deal. And that's one of the reasons why you don't photocopy a pattern and give it to your friend. You tell your friend where to buy that pattern, or you buy the pattern and give them the copy of the pattern because of copyrights. And there's that's a whole issue that I would probably have a guest post or talk about copyright rather than me dealing. I might give you my story, copyright stories, but I couldn't give you the law on that. Because there is so much to copyright and there's so many vague areas. I'm sure you guys have seen or heard about, at least, the gal who designed the really cute Baby Yoda, Grogu, is that his name now? Grogu, the little Baby Yoda, amigurumi, and she sold hundreds, I'm sure, that first day, and then Disney got wind of it and shut her down. That's another thing that's got to do with trademarks and likenesses and stuff. So copyright's got lots of little intricacies that are there. So Aunt Ida, I'm a moderator for the YouTube channel. It's Crochet O'Clock. Okay. Oh, Aunt Ida, I might talk to you about that. Send me an email after, either now or after the the live, and I'll talk to you about that, because if you can be here most days, I would love to talk to you about that. So that'd be great. Oh, I watched that video. Oh, the video on the seaming. I'm assuming Busy Hooker. Is that what you were talking about? You watched the video? I'm assuming that's what it is. Okay. And Brad's mom. Oh, Brad has pancreatitis. Oh, man. Oh, I'm glad she's, oh my gosh, 17 and a half years old and cancer survivor. Oh my gosh. Oh, give Brad a big hug for me. This poor little kitty. That's just terrible. But I'm glad she's doing better and a cancer survivor. That's awesome. That is so awesome. And see there, Deborah, Marianne uses fixation as a crocheter. If you go onto the Cascade website, I think if you search for fixation crochet, there's several patterns out there for crochet anyway, in general. I mean, I know a lot of people use it for swimsuits, but there's other things to use. I mean, I did years ago, I did a crocheted top out of fixation. It's beautiful. And what I like about it is it has the elastic, so it doesn't stretch out as much. You don't have to block it as much and as often as other sweaters. So, yeah, yarn winding, Busy Hooker, yarn winding. Oh, this video, you watched this video on the yarn winding. It's super simple. I don't know why more people don't do it. It's a pain in the butt because you're at the winding station for a long time. But by winding skeins like this, I do it all the time with mini skeins too. The original shawl that I did is all mini skeins, except for the very end where I used a full skein. And I wound it all, except for that full skein, because I realized I didn't have enough yarn and I needed the extra yarn at the end. But I wound, I think it was 13 or 14 mini skeins before I got to the final color on the shawl. So, and it just saves you time. I mean, it seems like you're at the winding station forever and your arm's about to fall off, because these are 395 yards each, and there's 4 of them here. And when you, so you're like, your arm's going to fall off. But when you're doing the crochet part and you get to the part where the two yarns, you get the 2 yarn ends, you don't have to get up and wind another skein. You can just keep going. You just add the new yarn and boom, you're ready to go. So yes, absolutely. Let's see. I got my mom one of those electric winders that usually goes pretty quick. I've been wanting to get one of those electric winders. I use the Fiber Artist, his wooden winder, and I love it. And he's just built a motor for it that you can add onto it. And I keep telling myself, okay, when you hit a certain goal, you can have the motorized one, because they're expensive. They're, a couple $100 to add the motor to it. But I love those motorized ones, those electric. Most of them are either electric or battery. So I know my local yarn shop that I used to work for several years ago over on the west side of the state had battery operated ones that were awesome. They were amazing unless you had lace weight yarn that was tangled in the hank. I had one that just was a mess. It took me like 4 hours to get 1,000, I think it was like 1,500 yards of lace weight, and because it fell off and made a mess. But anyway, I love those. I've been wanting one for so long. You bought the Winderful, and my Jimmy gave me one of his electric drills. I bet you did. A lot of people will do that, winding up your yarns and using those Winderfuls and the electric drills. I mean, and a lot of, I think I mentioned this last week, a lot of dyers use the drill to make the twisted hanks like this. Like you saw me twist it with my hands after I opened it back up. And I learned how to do that working at the shop. But if you're one of those dyers like Sorella who dyes, 300-400 skeins a day, you need something electric or a drill to to wine hanks. Got the kit from the Wonderful Company. $40 includes the adapter for the draw. Oh, wow. And large plastic spools, too. That's cool. That's cool. I'll have to look that one up. That might be something I'll need to buy and review on my website. Anyway, that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about, the business of crochet. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, I say this every week, I think, but if there's anything you want me to talk about, whether it's actual crochet, the do's and don'ts, how to do something, a special stitch, how, talk more in depth about gauge, whatever it is, let me know, because I want these lives to be helpful to you. I mean, I like to share what's new and I like to show you what I'm doing, and because I know that gives you guys some inspiration as well. And then having you talk to me about what I'm doing inspires me for other things as well as maybe doing something different with a project I'm already working on. But if there's something that you need help with, let me know. And if you're interested in being a designer or an author, writing a crochet book, you have this idea for a crochet book and you want to do it, let me know. I'm glad to help you with getting those tests, those first steps, and if you have a design you'd like to see in a magazine that you did yourself and want to pitch it somewhere, let me know. I'm going to be talking about that on the blog, but I'm glad to help. But also, I need ideas for these lives too. So anything you guys want to talk about, it's awesome. And the lives, I want it to be more, I don't want them all to be, this week we're going to talk about gauge. This week we're going to talk about seaming. This week we're going to talk about the single crochet. I want them to be more, like they are now. So I need social interaction with my crocheters too. So that's, part of what I want to do here as well. But I'm going to be making videos too that are static videos rather than live videos. So if you have a subject you'd like me to cover, let me know. Let's see. You just love my visits. I just love to be able to chat with you guys about crochet because there's not a whole lot of people in my real life, I should call it, my normal everyday life that are crocheters right now. I don't get to that much contact. So I need this as much as you guys do. And Busy Hooker, you agree too. It's a crazy world out there right now, and it's so hard. I should tell you guys, I think maybe I told you guys this last week. I don't remember. But I am going to be unless things change here in the state of Washington, I will be vending at Fiber Fusion Northwest, which is on the west side of our state. I will have a booth there. I might pitch some classes once they are accepting class, proposals, and teach some classes. So if you're interested, if you live in the state of Washington, I don't think anybody who's here live right now is in the state of Washington. But if you are watching this after the fact, and would like to attend and come see me, or just Fiber Fusion in general is an amazing event. So I'm really excited for that because that'll be my first live event that I'll actually be doing something at. I am planning in July going over the border to Idaho, just outside of Pullman, to the Grazing Hills Fiber Festival, which I have vended at in the past, but because of my daughter's wedding coming up, I have so many different things going on. I didn't want to commit to it, but I think my husband and I are going to drive up there for the day and actually just go there. So, so I'm going to hopefully do that. And my husband loves alpacas, and it's at an alpaca farm. So we'll do that. Let's see. It's like we are all visiting over a cup of tea or coffee. Yes, I agree. And other people just don't get it. We need this. And that's true. I mean, crochet is such a tactile, because we're always have yarn in our hands and we're feeling it and texture. But there's also, to me, I don't know if this makes sense, but it's always, you want to share. You want to share what you're doing. In fact, I just joined a group on Facebook that is crocheters in Washington, because I'm here in the Tri-Cities now. There's only one shop in the whole within a 200-mile diameter around me. But with this pandemic, I can't get out and meet these crocheters. So at least this way I can, talk to crocheters. So that's really, really important. And Linda's in Chicago, and yes, live events. Will this world get back to normal? I'm hoping. I noticed Texas has been having a lot of live events. I know they've got some social distancing going on, but still, it seems like there's certain states that are opening up, and then there's certain states that are like Washington that our governor's just, I don't know. He has no plan. Like, that's all I'm going to say about him. He has no plan to open us up. And so, yes. And I enjoy our visits to Marianne. I'm so glad we get to do this. And that's another thing I've been thinking about too, is I'm thinking about once a month doing a Zoom call. I think I mentioned this before, but now that I'm feeling better, my brain is clearing a little bit, I can plan this a little better. But I'm thinking doing like a Thursday night crochet night, once a month on Zoom, where anybody who wants to join that's a follower here, either whether you follow me here on YouTube or on my newsletter or whatever, can join me on Zoom for a couple hours, and we'll just sit and crochet. We can just chat about what we're doing, share our projects, almost like a virtual guild meeting. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. And I'm hoping, I was thinking about starting it in May, but I think I want to wait until after I have my my recheck in May, which is the 26th, to see because regardless of whatever they find, I'm going to have to go on treatments, whether it's maintenance or I have to do more aggressive treatments. So I want to see where I'm going to be, and then I can plan these so that I'm not doing these videos or these Zoom calls on a day that I get treatment, that kind of thing. So we'll revisit that whole thing, so you guys know. But I do want to do that because, all of us need some, once in a while. And those of you who were part of my Bewitched crochet along, that everybody is still asking me, when are we doing the next one? When are we doing the next one? So I want to make sure we get to do stuff like that again. And I will be doing another crochet along, I think, in the fall. So I just have to verify with one person that that I can use this pattern. It's a super secret pattern, but in the fall it'll be released. So by then I will, and I think it's a perfect pattern to do that type of thing again. So anyway, let's see, it is about 10 to 10 my time. So does anybody have anything they want to chat about or talk about? So we've got Marianne said enjoyed my visits, our visits, and then Zoom visits are great. Zoom is fun, and I love Zoom too because and Marianne said that same thing, because you guys can talk back to me, and I can see your faces and that kind of thing. So I would really love for you guys to do that if you're willing. And I'm going to probably do them. I'll probably do the early evening my time. So the East Coast might be, similar to what I did with Bewitched, just because I know there's going to be some West Coast people that want to do it too. And I don't want it to be too late on the East Coast, and I don't want it to be too early on the West Coast. So we'll see what my timing is going to look like. But yes. Let's see. Linda says, we have a restaurant. Oh, yeah. See, I love that. I love going to the alpaca farms for that reason. This alpaca farm that does the fiber festival that I'm planning to go to in July, she does that too with her yarns. She has listed who which alpaca the yarn is from. And then when I was on the west side, there were a bunch of alpaca farms that did that too. I haven't been to the alpaca farms here yet. There's a ton around me. So at some point, I'll be able to go to those and check them out and get some yarn. But I love alpaca. Alpaca is just one of my favorite yarns out there. Marianne enjoyed the crochet along. I'm so glad. Would like a crochet along or class or anything. I'm going to be doing some classes, guys. I mentioned that last week. I'm still trying to figure it out when they're going to happen in May. I'm thinking they're going to be in the latter part of May. I have a couple in mind for sure that are going to be on the schedule, and I'm still trying to figure out, because I've had a lot of requests, and I'm trying to figure out how to make the requests happen, not knowing what's going on with my treatments. So I might just do like 2 or 3 classes in May, and then hopefully in June or July, I'll really start a schedule going is my goal. That is my goal. I just need to know what's going on. So anyway, guys, anybody else have anything they would like to talk about? I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. The one thing here, it's supposed to be 88 degrees today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 88 degrees. Today, I think it's supposed to be 81. But this is April, guys. I'm not used to this. So everything feels like, my whole face feels like the Sahara Desert. My throat feels like the Sahara Desert. I'm just not used to this. So anybody have anything else? I'm hoping next week I will have a new project started with this yarn. Pull it out. This is Huasco sock yarn. I think I've shown this to you guys before. It came in, I got it earlier this month. It's a new pattern. It's an older pattern of mine that hasn't been on the market for a very long time that I'm remaking, and I'm going to get it charted, and I'm going to have it tested properly, and I'm very excited. So this is one of those things that I'll be doing. So that's that. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else new that might be happening that I can talk to you guys about. Just be watching. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter, make sure you subscribe, because my newsletter will have everything first. I tried it because it, everyone is so selective on who they allow into their inbox. I feel like they need to know everything first. And then once they know, I will announce it to everybody else. But other than that, you guys can see me here every week. Let's see. Brad, and thank you for your prayers and rosaries. I appreciate that. You know how much I appreciate all the prayers everybody has been saying for me, and the good thoughts and vibes. I really, really do appreciate those. Let's see. Here in northern Alabama, it gets hot but super humid. I don't like the humidity either. I'm an asthmatic, and humidity really affects me, but I could use a little bit more humidity than what is out there right now. So, but I have been to the South in July. I did a crochet, the Crochet Guild of America event in Charleston, North Carolina, right in the middle of July, or at the end of July. It was mid to late July, and it was so humid that a couple friends wanted to take me to a restaurant across the street from the hotel. And they were so worried about me with the humidity, they actually made the shuttle take us across the street, which is so funny. I love humidity, but not that much humidity. So God bless you for living in that weather. That's crazy. Let's see, it was hot here yesterday and not ready for it. Yeah, here where we're living now, it's going to be hotter sooner than the other side of the state, but I wasn't expecting 80s in April. So I'm just kind of, okay, let's get used to this. And Busy Hooker says it's been raining and being here almost tornado season. Are you in the Florida area, Busy Hooker, or Texas, in that general vicinity? I can't remember where you are from, but tornado season always scares me too. Or you might be in the Midwest with tornadoes. I can never remember. I'm thinking hurricanes, because I know hurricane season's getting close too. So, let's see. Oh, your cousin lives in Enterprise. Oh, you're in Colorado. That's right. Colorado has interesting weather this year. I have a couple friends that live in Colorado. My best friend's living there right now, and I have a couple other friends that are living in Colorado, and it seems like you have these really nice days, and then it snows for 16 inches, and then the next day the snow's gone. Is that your experience, Busy Hooker? I'm pretty sure that, I mean, my best friend is actually living there temporarily. She has been for a year, and she's from Southern California. She's just like, she sends me these pictures of, look at this, look at the snow. I'm not used to this. And she used to live in Minnesota, which is really kind of funny. My town is in a pretty sweet spot. We don't usually get tornadoes in town, just all, oh man, okay. You were too close. That one makes sense, being close to the mountains, not getting the tornadoes. We just had, about a month ago, a tornado touch down near the freeway, probably about 3 miles east of us or west of us. That was kind of interesting. I've never had a tornado touch down near us, so that was kind of interesting. Colorado always has interesting weather. We go through the seasons of weather. It's like 6 years of drought, fires, and then 6 years of blitz, heavy snow. I've heard that. One of my friends lives in the mountains above Boulder, and she says that too. It seems like where it's either fires or floods. So you're in northern Muscle Shoals, through Enterprise. The whole as bipolar. Once we got 2 feet of snow in May, and I've seen 70 degrees wind. See, on the west side of the state, that's kind of what we had. I mean, other than the tornadoes, we had. I've had snow in May. I remember driving my kids. My son, I think, was either in kindergarten or first grade. I just remember it was his little friend's birthday that day, and it was May, and we got like 6 inches of snow. And that's unusual for Washington in general in May. So, and we've had warm days in December too. So it's interesting. And now here that we live in the high desert, so that's been an interesting thing to learn about too. Let's see, last year we had, oh wow. Oh yes, I had heard about you guys, all those fires you had last summer. Yes. Yes, and we had some of that. We had a little bit of that here in Washington, west of us. So, yeah. And then this year they're worried about flooding and mudslides. Yeah, I bet. Okay, guys. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock here, so I'm going to just go ahead and start winding this down. I'll come back to the comments right before I go to end the broadcast, but I want to go through my normal thing. For those of you who are watching after the fact, I appreciate you popping in and saying hello. If you need to learn more about me, make sure you visit KarenWhooley.com. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter, because my newsletter subscribers always get the news first. They get the deepest discounts on new releases. And you get a free pattern every single year. And you can use this link right here that I'm showing you on the bottom to subscribe to my newsletter. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's right here at the bottom of the screen. And if you're not watching on Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook using this link at the bottom of the screen. The place I'm most active is Instagram, and you can find me at Karen Whooley. Make sure you don't have a space in my name, because that will be my personal account, and I only let friends and family follow me there. So make sure you do Karen Whooley with no spaces. If you're watching after the fact, you can watch me also on Rumble. Rumble is another video platform similar to YouTube. However, I cannot stream live on Rumble. So after my live videos, I go and I upload it to Rumble. And so this video will be up there soon. This is the link to my channel. If you have never heard of Rumble and want to check it out and would like to join for free, I do have an affiliate link. It's free for you to join Rumble. But if you use this affiliate link, it gives me a little bit of a kickback to help me keep these videos going. Rumble and YouTube have about the same subscriber base. So whether you watch me on YouTube or Rumble, I welcome you and I'm glad you're here. So, and then also make sure that if you are watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble, that you hit subscribe or like. In the case of Facebook, like my page, or subscribe to my Rumble channel, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. That will notify you when I do go live. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the the like or the thumbs up. That helps me get more visible on YouTube. And if you have friends who are crocheters and would be interested in learning more about me or just watching these videos, make sure you share the links for these as well. So before I head out, I'm going to just check the chat room one more time and see. So thanks, Marianne. See you next time. I'm glad you were here. And smash that like button. Yes, Busy Hooker. Tell everybody, smash that like button. And Aunt Ida, see you next week. And don't forget, Aunt Ida, is it Aunt Ida that said it, or Busy Hooker, whoever was telling me about helping me with these, make sure you shoot me an email. And Brat's mom said done. I'm assuming that's liking and subscribing and all that. So I'm so glad all of you guys are here. I appreciate you come every single week to join me with this live, and I want it to be your live too. So let me know what kind of topics you want to hear about in the future, and I will see you next week. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye all.